The update work process. The purpose is to update the database permanent tables. To update the database permanent tables. The purpose. Like as per our example in the hotel, a person will sit. That person will keep on write the entries into the system. His name is updater. Who will update your data? Like you have ordered some food. He will write that like a table number 10. These are the things we have. And again, you have ordered something else. Immediately, he will update that also into the same table number, where he will update in the system. Okay, but you need to think. You need to notice one thing. When Dialog says to the update, then only update will update. He won't come and ask you. He won't take the data directly. You got my point? When the Dialog is saying table number 10, this is the data to be updated. So immediately it will update. The point, the interactive work process will be Dialog work process. See, from the GUI, the user request is initiated. Same, the whole story. Dispatcher will receive the request. User request is created. Dispatcher will receive the request. Keep the request in the wait queue. Wait queue. Then based on, okay, let me write user request 1, user request 2, and so on. Based on first in, first out mechanism, the freely available work process is assigned. This work process is free Dialog. Free Dialog is assigned based on the first in, first out. The Dialog work process understand that the work with update work process. The work with update work process. So immediately he will go and update the update temporary tables. He will go and update the update temporary tables. The update temporary tables are VB star tables. VB stands for update. Always please do remember, wherever you see the VB, like it denotes the update. The VB star tables are VB header, VB mod, VB data, VB error. These are the 4 tables. What Dialog will do? Dialog will go and simply updates the update temporary tables. Okay. So what data it will update in the header table? Header information, header info, module info, actual data, if any error, so this kind of data is updated by the Dialog work process. This way of updation is asynchronous update. Asynchronous update. Please make a note. Async update. Asynchronous update. This asynchronous update is, what is the asynchronous update means? The Dialog work process will update the update temporary tables. These are the update temp tables. Update temp tables. These update temp tables are updated by the Dialog work process. This process name is asynchronous update. Asynchronous update. So now the update work process will update the database. Here we have the database and database permanent tables. Database having the permanent tables. Permanent tables. So this database permanent tables are updated by the update work process. These are updated by update work process. So what Dialog is doing here? Dialog is updating the temporary tables. From the temporary tables, update work process is updating the database permanent tables. This is what update work process work. Example, like you are the user request and you are the customer in the hotel. You just ordering something. So immediately what Dialog will do? Dialog will give the information to the update work process. He won't go and write the information in the database directly, the system directly. He just updates the update temporary tables. So from the temporary tables, the update work process will update the database permanent. Understand any questions here? Any questions?
Nothing. The same tables we are having in the database permanent tables, right? The same tables which
Database permanent tables are many more. Like it will be like it's a huge. Okay, the respective data will be updated.
Here we are having only 4 tables.
Exactly. Update work process always will read these 4 tables and update the respective table, respective permanent table in the database. Understand?
Tables are same, but information are different.
Information is same, but tables are different.
Okay.
Okay. The same data will be updated in the database, but here these are temp tables. The table names mentioned here. But when coming to the database, the tables will change. For example, user related data will be updated in USR tables. Roles access related data will be updated in the AGR tables. Like that, there is so many tables. Okay. So now, first point we need to know always about our purpose. About the work process. Update work process is there to update the database permanent tables. This is the purpose of the work process. Number two. Types. The updation types are 1. Asynchronous update. 2. Synchronous update. 2. Synchronous update. And 3. Local update. 3. Local update. So for suppose if Dialog or background work process directly updated the permanent tables, this will not be happened in the real time. Just a theory knowledge. Just it is a theory knowledge. If Dialog directly updated the permanent tables, database permanent tables, it will be called as a local update. It will be called as a local update. So asynchronous update, synchronous update, and local update. The types are 3. Now, update work process types are simply the work process types. VB, work process. VB stands for update. So, in the update itself, we have some types. Okay, those are VB1, VB2 type, VB3 type. VB1 type, VB2 type, VB3 type. VB1 for to handle critical updates. To handle critical updates. VB2 will handle non-critical updates. These are the work process types. Let me write here better. To handle non-critical updates. VB3, SAP reserve. SAP reserve. SAP reserve. These are the work process types. Like actually work process are 7 types. Again in the update work process we have 3 more types. To handle critical we have VB1. To handle non-critical we have VB2. And VB3 we have, but it's a SAP reserved. Just we can forget this. Okay. And we need to focus on flow. After about, we need to focus on the flow. The flow will be, just listen carefully. The user request is created. It's an old story. Let's go with some different color. User request is created. Dispatcher receives. Request keeps that in the wait queue based on first in, first out. The free Dialog work process is assigned. Then this Dialog work process is updated the update temporary tables. Nothing but a asynchronous update. So then this update work process will update the database permanent tables. Database permanent tables. These are the synchronous update. Synchronous update. This is the flow. The local update also just you can forget. It's just a theory knowledge. Okay, this is the flow. Then we need to focus on the parameters. Parameters. The parameters are like a, yesterday we have discussed RDISP / WP underscore number underscore TIA. It will decide the number of Dialog work process. The same way, VB will give you the how many number of VB1s you need in the server. VB2 will give the number of non-critical update work process. Actually, this is one enough, and this is also one enough for a server. See, in the hotel, one updater will sit and write all the information. He will take the updates from all the dialogues and he will write in the database. Am I right? But in the SAP, we have a 2. One person will handle the critical, one person will handle the non-critical. Critical handles the critical, one will handles the non-critical updates. Clear? Clear?
Yes, clear. Here, you said we are having 3 types of
process are
updates,
7
right?
types, right?
Good
Hello?
question. The work process are 7 types. In
7
the
types, but
update,
again
we
you
have these types.
these are the update work process.
These
These
are the
3.
update work process types. Update work process types.
Okay.
Actually,
Clear.
here we have the 7 type of work process. DVE, VMGS.
Yes.
DVE is missing. VMGS. In this DVE, VMGS, we have V, right? The V itself having again types. Like you can assume like a subtypes.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions?
Okay. Okay. Clear.
So here you said we are having 3 types of
VB3
updates like asynchronous
VB3.
update, synchronous update, and local update.
Oh yeah, correct.
So here synchronous update means we are here update only directly updating the permanent data tables.
Yeah.
But to update the data in the permanent tables, we need the dialog, right? Dialog.
Exactly. First the synchronous will be happen. The number 5. Then first asynchronous will be happen number 5. Then synchronous update will be happen by the update work process.
So here the complete process is a synchronous. Then what is the need of asynchronous here? It's a incomplete process, right? Till the temporary tables only the asynchronous
Yeah,
is needed.
incomplete only. In the hotel, the waiter will give the information to the updater. He won't go and update in the system. Just step by step process.
Okay.
You don't go for the cook, right? To get the food, your food, to give the order. It's a step by step. The multiple work process, accumulately it's working. This step is done by the dialer. That's called asynchronous update. This another step is done by the updater.
Okay.
But what about this local update? You said directly Dialog
Dialer will
to
update the directly.
database.
Yeah, directly. But this will not be there in the real. Just a theory knowledge. If someone asks the interview how many updations are there, then you need to say 3 actually. But when you check in the system, you will see 2 on.
3 means that first I think asynchronous update and synchronous update. That local update is not a real time.
Yeah,
Right?
correct. It's not belongs to the real.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay. The same way, work process also 3 types. The VB3 is you won't see in the system. VB3 you won't see. Only you will see VB and VB2. VB stands for VB1, like I just mentioned, VB1, VB2, VB3. For better understanding, just remove this one also. You will see VB and VB2. Understand? VB,
Yeah.
VB2, VB3.
VB and
Yes.
VB2, I didn't understand actually.
VB will handle the critical updates.
But this is coming under synchronous update or which update?
Yeah, under synchronous only. The work process will respond accordingly based on the data is there in the temporary tables.
So again, synchronous update is divided into like three types: critical updates, non-critical,
Like
and
in the work process, like
categorized.
the work
Okay.
called synchronous, like from the temporary tables, the database is updating. The process name is synchronous. The process is done by the person called update work process. There we have a types. Got my point?
Okay. Yeah, understood. Again, it is categorized into critical, non-critical, the SAP. Okay.
Yeah. You got my point?
Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Just I wanted to ask you this VB1 and VB2, VB3. It will come under the synchronized update, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Just assume the hotel, the asynchronous update, dialer will just give the data into the temporary tables. He won't wait for anyone till the update work process is updated the data. That's the meaning is asynchronous update. Okay, dialog work process. Yesterday we have discussed. It's a time limit. It will handle short run, interactive. One more point I have missed yesterday. It is a multiplexing work process. Is a multiplexing work process. At a time, he will handle 5 to 10 users at a time. Handles. See, the dialog work process will take the order from you. The same dialog work process will take the order from your side adjacent table also at a time. At a time, he will handle a multiple persons, multiple user requests. But when update work process is writing the data into the database, for example, your data is writing into the database. At the same time, he cannot write other person data, other user request data. Other user request. Okay, in that the dialogues are multiple. These dialogues simply will update temporary tables. From here, our update work process will read. Here we have all the criticals are handled by the VB1 type. All the non-criticals, user requests and data is handled by the VB2 work process. The way of updation is a synchronous update. Why synchronous means? One hit is handling one user request, he won't touch the another user. The sync mode, he will work. Okay. Any questions still?
When it comes to the asynchronous update, how it will be?
Like a dialog will go and update the temporary tables.
Okay. All these are 4 tables, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay, good.
So one more actually, it can be work. It can be work as a multiple thing, right? Like as you said, when it is synchronized update is during the synchronizing update, it will accept only one. Here, how actually that asynchronized update?
I did not understand the question clearly. Once again.
You said actually the synchronized update.
Like how the waiter will give the data to the updater.
Yes.
In the hotel.
Yes.
The table number 1 data at a time. The table number 5 data. Again, he will give table number 1 data.
And one by one.
Any order. That's called asynchronous. Multiple requests handled by once. Go to mute, please. They're getting a lot of disturbance. Okay. So the multiple requests handled by a dialog work process at once. Like as I told you, 5 to 10 users handled by at a time. Because he's a multiplexing work process. Is a multiplexing work process. But update is not like that, one after one. It's a synchronous. Okay. Dedicated. The update work process is dedicated, where dialog work process is non-dedicated work process. Non-dedicated work process. So, dedicatedly means synchronous. In sync. Okay. So, this is about the parameters, and last about the T codes. T codes and is monitoring about statuses. We have a transaction called SM13 transaction. SM13 transaction to check the update work process status. To update work process status. To check the update work process status, we will use SM13 transaction. What kind of statuses we can see here means INIT is the status. It's nothing but a initial status. It's nothing but a INIT is the initial status, like something you can assume waiting. And RUN is the status running. And auto is the status. The automatically it will restart. Auto restart. Auto restart. And error is the status. Error means no need to say fail or failed. So these are the statuses we can check in the SM13. These are the statuses we can check in SM13. Where we will check means in SM13 we will check. Okay. The same way we have another transaction SM14. We have another transaction called SM14. The SM14 to activate, deactivate this entire update mechanism we will use. Activate, deactivate the entire update mechanism. Activate, deactivate update mechanism. We will use SM14 transaction. SM13 is the update work process status. SM14 the activate, deactivate update mechanism. So the last point, update need a lock. Whenever update work process updating any table, it need a lock. Who is the lock provider?
NQ.
Exactly. NQ is the lock provider. Okay. But update work process will ask update work process. Will ask the lock to the dialog. Okay. Dialog will go and ask the lock to the message server, MS. Message server will ask the NQ. So in this reverse mode, let me start from here. Okay, like this, the update will get the lock from the NQ. This is lock flow.
How we need a message server here?
Yeah, that we will discuss in the message server. Okay, this is lock flow. NQ is the lock provider. So this NQ locks you can check at SM12. SM12 is the transaction to check NQ locks. Sorry. To check NQ locks. To check NQ locks. SM12 is the transaction. So about the message server, we will discuss in the future classes. So now we have discussed about first about the work process. I'm just recapping. The update work process is there to update the database permanently. First point. Second, we need to know the flow. The GUI will create the user request, dispatcher, wait queue, based on first in first out. The freely available dialog is assigned. Then dialog will update the update temporary tables. This process name is asynchronous update. By reading these temporary tables, update work process will update the data. Either it is a critical updates, VB1, VB or VB2, which is updating. We don't bother about that. Just this process is nothing but a synchronous update. Why? Because update work process is dedicated. In the sync mode, it will work. Dialog is a non-dedicated multiplexing work process. So that is the reason the asynchronous mode it will work. Okay. Then, so this is about the flow. Now, VB work process types. VB means update work process types. These are VB, VB2, VB3 is SAP reserved, and the parameters are these two. Some parameter is there for the SM14 also. VB active underscore. There is a one parameter. I will give you 1 minute. Okay. I'm just sharing a blog with you. There you can read. RD ISP VB stop active. Yeah, one more parameter. RD ISP / VB underscore stop underscore active is equal to the default value is 1. If you kept it is 0 means you are deactivate. To deactivate 0, to activate it should be 1 or 1. 1 is the recommended or default one. Okay. So coming to the next parameters are done. T codes SM13 to check the update work process status. Here we can check the INIT run auto error, these kind of statuses we can see. SM14 to activate deactivate the update mechanism, entire mechanism. These are the transaction codes. One more transaction is SM12. There you can check the NQ logs. Why NQ will come into the picture means when update is updating the tables, permanent tables, it will log the table. Then only it will update. The log provider is NQ. This is the log flow. How the update obtains the log. How the update work process obtains log. Okay. So I will give you a small example about the log. For example, just you were watching a movie ticket, some row number K, ticket number 10, K10. You want just actually you want to book but you did not book it. You are just watching that seat in some theater on some day. The same seat can be viewed by some other users also, right? The same seat can be, or else let's go for another example. In some bus, red bus application, you want to book a ticket. You're just checking the availability. The same seats can be checked by the other users also, right?
Yes.
Definitely yes. When like a checking or watching means it's a view request, view, select. Multiple persons can run a select request on the same table at a time, at the same time. But per suppose you have selected the seat and you went to the payment. You have selected the seat and everyone go to mute. You went to the payment. So when you were in the payment, you did not done the payment yet. But when you were in the payment, the another person can able to book the same seat.
Yes.
How you can book?
No.
No, he already
No.
selected, no.
Yeah, correct. Means when he's updating his name on the table, on the seat, it will be in the database, some table entry only. So other person cannot run the update on the same. Okay. This I will show you on the system when we will practice. Okay, no worries. Once again, I will repeat theory for the like a small recap I will give you and I will show you on the system. No worries. See, when an update is running on some table, the another user cannot update the same table. Why? Because the NQ made a lock on the table, the requested from the update work process. Got my point? Any questions? Any questions? That is the requirement of the lock. So lock is needed when update work process is updating the database permanent tables. This is end of the class.